It is day 9 of the... Day 9, that's like the sound of the Fluid Link
Day
sound.
9.
Day 9. Day 9 of the Fluid Link 7 calendar. Francis Montgomery, Taradiddle Vincent. That's a fun name. Frankie and Andy Vinny on...
Tara what to Vincent now?
Well, stay tuned. On Twitter asks, do you think we will get a 60th anniversary special? And which old faces should return, and who do you think should direct it? Listen, 60th anniversary, that's like 3 years away. So
Wow.
we're there. We're there, folks. 60 is 60 a big year? Once you hit 50, and with the hoopla that was 50.
Once you hit 50, I think 75 is the next milestone.
Yeah, 75 does feel like the big one after this. But hey, they might have a little throw. I mean, they've done things for the 10th, the 20th, the 25th, sort of, the 30th, sort of, with Dimensions of Time. 40th, they kind
40th,
of...
they did Doctor Who night thing, yeah.
They did and they, like, the DVD range, like, had a special logo for it and, like, released an episode per Doctor during the calendar year just to sort of commemorate it and everything. So, they have sort of, like, celebrated and stuff. So you know what? It wouldn't necessarily be a special, but maybe they'd have a special episode. So who would return for the 60th anniversary?
It's going to have to be somebody mediocre.
Why?
Like, not great, not terrible. Somebody mediocre.
It's like the 60th anniversary. Like, how... Like, it's not big, so you got to get, like... So are you talking about, like, a mediocre doctor or something like that?
No, like a mediocre guest. Like...
I don't like where you're going with this at all. Why would you curse this lovely program with?
Pretty insulting, actually. Like,
well, it's going to be... The current doctor's probably not going to be Jodie, because they usually last about 3 or 4 years, and she's going to come up on that... Like, so let's assume it's not her and it's a new doctor, whoever that might be. So she would definitely come back.
Patterson
probably
Joseph.
Tennant.
Yeah.
So let's say Patterson Joseph, sure.
Right.
I don't know who it's going to be, but let's just say there's a new doctor, and then we've got Jodie, and probably Tennant would come back. I could see Smith coming back. I very much doubt, but maybe.
No Capaldi, though.
There's obviously no Ward Doctor or any need for one.
No. Yeah, I don't know what... so it's obviously going to be a multi-doctor thing, is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And he can't really do the, as a doctor we didn't know about. Although that's kind of what, like, Chibnall Who is now anyway, because it's all, like, pre-Hartnell doctors. What about Joe? Joe comes back. Joe Martin doctor, Ruth doctor.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, let's say there's a whole bunch of Timeless Children. So instead of it being like a reunion thing, it's a Timeless Children showdown. It just builds up into a thing.
It's all doctors. All of them are doctors. And then they just gradually get killed off until there's, like, one remaining. And
it's basically the end of Avengers Endgame, where they're all coming out of the portals.
Except is there anybody other than Hinchcliffe? Anyone from the Morbius Doctors still alive?
Graham Harper.
Yeah.
Right, Graham Harper. Yep.
Graham Harper.
Because Christopher Barry is dead. And,
well, I think
you bring back the Morbius Doctors.
I like
Morbius. Morbius is the main villain.
Here's the thing. Let's get completely whacked out here. Okay, so
whacked out.
The question here is Old Face, and who do you think should direct it? So Graham Harper is directing it, as well as appearing as the Doctor, but then, like, breaks the fourth wall at some point to show that the Doctor is actually him, and he's been directing this the whole time.
And it's somehow a sequel to An Adventure in Space and Time.
I would somehow be. Because there's like, maybe that's the thing. And it's like, maybe they make, and somehow they make an Adventure in Space and Time canon. Essentially, that's how it's happened. Because the Doctor's canon now.
He is.
What did we decide on this?
A little too meta for my liking.
Yeah, let's do a roll call. Who's returning again? It's
Morbius
all the Doctors.
And Morbius and the Morbius Doctors.
Morbius Doctors are returning in some ways. Well, basically, we can have, like, disembodied heads floating in a vortex. Like,
I mean, they've basically done that for the Day of the Doctor.
Yeah. And then Graham Harper's directing it, but also appearing as the Doctor, even though he's not an actor.
Joe Martin.
Jodie and Joe Martin are back.
Whoever this new Doctor is.
Yeah, and whoever the current Doctor is, Idris Elba. And I think that writes itself. Boy, that's a pretty weird 60th anniversary.
It is, but all these off-brand anniversaries are weird.
That's true.
I mean, doesn't Tom Baker say "my dears" to them in Dimensions in Time? Which
they'd have to say that in there. They'd have to work in. Basically, it's the 30th anniversary of Dimensions in Time. So maybe they should just like instead of like EastEnders, maybe they just do a crossover episode with like Emmerdale or something like that. And
and instead of having the curator, you have Peter Davison show up and be just cranky like he is now.
Well, this just ties into my
as Peter Davison.
Yeah, this desire to have Doctor Who adventures. I mean, All Creatures Great and Small crossover.
In fact, it ties into shows where people are fans of Doctor Who, like Brian Pern and Toast of London. They'll make appearances as well.
Wow.
Or instead of Peter Davison, you can have Colin Baker show up, and the whole thing can be sponsored by Crocs.